My name is Justin. I was in the U.S. Army Special Forces, and I retired as a sergeant major. While I was in for 23 years, I was on about a dozen deployments. 9 of those were combat, so it was busy, and I wouldn't have had it any other way. I think most of the men I worked with felt that way. I was in Kosovo in 2000. I was in Afghanistan shortly after the towers went down. Spent the first year of the Iraq War there. Joined the Special Forces following that, after my third deployment, and did multiple combat deployments with the Special Forces group to Iraq, Afghanistan. Spent time in Lebanon, Jordan, a couple other countries, Syria. I'd been exposed to hundreds of blasts, both enemy and friendly training, combat, and I would say after maybe my 9th or 10th deployment, I began to notice some cognitive deficits. Until I think 2013, I had my first real issue that I was not able to work through. It was severe vertigo, vomiting, I was unable to open my eyes. That lasted probably 3 or 4 days. I began to have issues with some time management, task organization, things like that, things that should have been very simple for me at that point in my career.
Previously, he was always the life of the party, the one that's bringing everybody in for conversation and making jokes, and to see him struggle with just getting through the day was significant. The physical symptoms were the most difficult, and the sleep deprivation and the vertigo and things were all of it compounded at one time was a real challenge, because he's a very strong and resilient person, and to see him struggle was difficult.
I think the cognitive gains from HBOT were, I think, stood out the most to me. After a couple of dozen dives, I think I began to improve in terms of word finding, self-expression, processing what other people are saying.
Gosh, I mean, it's quite a big list with, pretty much anything that has to do with hearing and seeing and speaking and listening. All of that has been improved. I would probably want people to know how thankful that we are to have had the opportunity to participate in this program, because it's made a huge impact in our life. It's made us live a more normal life where we can now set goals and look for future hopes and endeavors, just like any normal couple. And I don't think this would be possible without hyperbaric intervention.
If I could give my dives away to a young man or woman who has incurred some sort of deficit overseas serving, I'd give them away. A lot of them get out of the military as junior ranking individuals, many of them with kids. They're moving on with their lives. Maybe they're still in, but certainly for many of them, money is an issue. Yeah, I would just encourage decision makers to remember the sacrifice that so many Americans have made.
Life it's going to be good. It's going to be better now. We're going to have a better life, a more enjoyable life together because of what the oxygen therapy has done.